Good morning. Well, it's almost lunchtime actually. It's the first day. I'm just heading into Holyhead to pick up some food for later. Not sure this is going to be a very fast ride. Well, after a couple of hours of pedalling this morning, I'm getting into the mountains. There's little specks on the horizon this morning. Well, I'm in the middle of them now. We won't mention the headwind, but you know, can't have everything. Well, I just passed the Snowdon Youth Hostel, so may suggest that that's Snowdon up there, or it's up there somewhere. Yo, 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 sheep, get out of the way. Thank you. The hills in Wales, when you're fully loaded, are a bugger. Whew. That's the 27,952nd hill of the day. Then when you get to the top, you get to enjoy going down. Whew. You don't half shift when you're carrying an extra, I don't know, 15-20 kilos as well. Oh my god. Oh. This place is just out of this world. This road is closed. I've just gone through the road closed sign. Why is it closed? Is there a landslide? Are there bears? Natural born killers? Why is the road closed? And the more pertinent question is, Do I need to turn around and go up that bloody great hill again? We shall see. The joys of touring when you trust your Wahoo and you don't know where you are, but could think of worse places to be on a, what day is it, Wednesday? I think this is the last descent before, hopefully, I run into some breakfast, even though it's nearly lunchtime. I am bloody starving. Full English, well, full Welsh breakfast, 2 cups of coffee and a millionaire slice would go down very nicely right now. Well, tonight's dinner isn't up to much. Chicken curry with sandwich roll thingies. But the view's pretty nice. Good morning. I'll be awake in about 10 minutes. Cheers. It's the start of day 3 and I'm just deliberating whether or not to pack up and get going or to faff around for another half an hour enjoying my camp spot. I think I'm going to faff around. It's just so pretty up here. Day 3, about halfway through the day actually, in terms of riding. Haven't really taken my camera out much today, not because the scenery's been any less stunning, but because I've either been grinding up crazy hills, holding on for dear life, or flying down crazy descents. And this is probably the first little bit of flat that I've come across all day. So having a little chill, taking it easy, and probably 3 or 4 more hours riding tonight, this afternoon I should say, before I get to my destination tonight. I must confess, I've slightly broken and booked a room in a pub tonight. Hills have really punished me to the point and stunk me up to the point where a decent bed and a hot shower is on the cards tonight. So apologies to all the gods of wild camping and stealth camping, but yeah, you can bugger off. Anyway, here's where we are. guess it's that place between Snowdonia and the Brecon Beacons. It's really nice. Probably in the Brecon Beacons, but not fully there yet. Whew, anyway. Oh, I'd forgotten what this feels like. 17, 18 miles an hour, it's flat. Oh, Wales, a little reprieve from the mountains. Thank you kindly, much appreciated. Oh, hallelujah. Speed in for a B road. Anyway, maybe I'll check in or take a picture when I finally see the River Wye. That's pretty cool. That's slightly nerve-wracking doing it one-handed, holding a bloody camera in the other hand. Ah, right, now, which way? Good morning, good morning. It's the last day, heading over the Brecons into Cardiff. A few miles in on the last day, and I've just gone up a ridiculous hill. Surprise, surprise. And probably say I'm properly in the Brecon Beacons now. A few miles from Brecon itself, which isn't on the route. It's very nice. I've never been here in my life. Couldn't name any of the places around here, any of the roads or waypoints. Somehow I have it in my head it's like Dartmoor or Bodmin, but I don't think it is. I think it's a little bit more maybe like the Peak District. We shall see. There's a quite an ominous looking hill, which I'm sure looks like a little molehill on the camera, but I fear that's my route. And there is at some point on the route today about 1.5 miles just straight up. Gradient doesn't go below 10%. It's probably some kind of famous test for road cyclists around here, but I'm not looking forward to it on a touring bike fully loaded. Pushing may be involved, and my pride may have to suffer the consequences. Anyway, yeah, good start today. It's raining, but I'm actually quite happy about that because it's nice and cool, and for now at least I'm not having to deal with crazy heat which I've had the last couple of days. I'm at the top of what looks like the inside Brecon Beacons. 1,707 feet elevation. I didn't stop and push, which I'm quite proud of, although I wanted to a few times. I'm thinking fish and chips, cup of tea, mushy peas, and yeah, can of Coke. That would be nice. Well, you know, it's a headwind when the windmills are spinning away from you, if that makes sense. Anyway, it's a headwind. Don't know why I keep doing these tours in the UK that go from north to south, because, you know, perceived wisdom is that the prevailing weather goes south to north. And I don't know why I keep doing it. So every time I do a tour that goes north-south, I do get some strong headwinds. But hey, I just feel psychologically north to south is like going downhill. So I know that makes no sense whatsoever geographically, but it just seems to click with me somehow, keeps me going. I have a destination south. I feel like it's, you know, a bit of psychological freewheeling, even though quite often it's quite the opposite. Anyway, you can't really, well, maybe you can plan a route depending on the prevailing wind or weather. As any cyclist will tell you though, wind is a very odd thing, and you can do a circular route and have a headwind all the way around at times. It's just so weird. And don't even get me started on the Cheshire winds, second only to bloody Patagonia for their strength and persistence. Anyway, enough rambling. I don't see Cardiff anywhere, but I think there's only one more big climb to go today, and I suspect from the top of there I'll see the bay and, you know, freewheeling all the way down to Cardiff. Good morning. I'm just about half an hour from checking out of my hotel. I finished the ride yesterday and I'm heading back to Manchester, heading back home on the train from Cardiff in about an hour, hour and a half. I generally make these little videos just for posterity, and it's just really something that I want to perhaps look back on when I'm older and a bit more decrepit. And I have a shocking memory, so I just thought if I make these little videos, I've made quite a few, and I stick them on, you know, Fastbook or whatever. And I think it'll just be nice to look back on in a few years, and, you know, help the memory, or, you know, help. What am I saying? Which is nice to look back on in a few years. Anyway, what I thought I'd do, a couple of years ago I did actually set up a YouTube channel, so I think what I might do is stick these
these Wales videos on there. So if you happen to be watching this on YouTube, A, how did you get onto this video? It's amazing. B, thank you for watching. And C, I guess let me know if there's anything you'd like to ask about these videos, or if there's anything that might be more useful to show. I think a lot of the time I'm just sort of pointing a camera at myself or around the bike and waffling for a few minutes, and then I get scared and put the camera away and I need to put both hands back on the bars. This is just a little postscript, I think, to say, well, first off, it's really nice not to be cycling today. It's nice to be off the bike. I'm even just going to walk up to the station. I'm not even going to ride. Give my legs a rest and give my arse a rest, basically. I aim to average about 50 miles a day, and that really isn't a lot. I mean, I'm quite often I'll go out at home and just do 50 miles in, a couple of hours, 2-3 hours. Just take a bottle of water and a Snickers and go for it. I don't even think about it, but it's a whole different ball game when you're cycle touring and carrying, as you can see, a fully loaded, you can't see the front panniers, but there's panniers on the front as well. Carrying that amount of luggage and weight, it completely changes certainly what I'm capable of doing. So 50 miles a day for me, I think, if it's very hilly, which Wales is, I think I've done nearly 20,000 feet of climbing over the last 4 days. It's too much for me. I would probably suggest, if you're going somewhere really hilly and you're going fully loaded, probably aim for 30 to 40 miles a day. And I think you also have to factor in, you get to the end of the day, you still have to get off the bike, set your tent up, inflate your mat, sort all your stuff out, make some food, deal with whatever you need to do around your campsite or your camp spot. That takes a bit out of you as well. So when you're fully cycle touring, you can't use all your energy, all your reserves on the bike. You've got to save a little bit for the end of the day. So I'd say 30 to 40 miles if it's really hilly. If it's flat, if you're going down the Rhine or something, that really flat Eurovela route, which I'd love to do at some point, you can probably do like 50 to 80 fully loaded. I think you wouldn't blink twice at that if you're in reasonable shape. But somewhere like Wales, Scotland, the Lake Districts, and those comparable places around the world, I would keep the mileage really short. Gear, I'm not using a touring bike. I'm using it's a Triban RC520 from Decathlon. It's a sort of not a super slick, skinny, thin, light road bike. It is a road bike, but it's a sort of relaxed geometry. I think it's basically the same frame as their gravel bikes. The gravel bikes just have slightly different bars, like flared bars, and maybe a couple of other differences. But it's quite a robust road bike. I stuck some racks on it. I stuck some 32 Stralby marathons on it as well. And it's held up really well. I was a bit worried about the wheels because it only has, I think, 28 spokes on each wheel. And you hear that you need 32 plus to go touring, and evidently that isn't the case. The bike's held up really, really well. I mean, it was absolutely faultless on this trip. Not that I'd want to go smashing over every pothole and go off-road on it, but I think if you ride carefully, sensibly, on a well-maintained, robust road bike, I think you can cycle tour without any issues, really. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, one thing I have done on this bike is I've put an 1140 cassette on the back, so actually there's absolutely no way in in the world I would have got up the hills in Wales without that extra massive gear on the back. So that is something to bear in mind. Yes, a road bike, you know, robust road bike you can tour on, but you probably need to think about the gearing. If you have like an 1134, unless you're some kind of power lifter in the bottom half of your body, there's no way in the world you get up any steep hills. So yeah, that little postscript. If you have watched the videos, I'm so sorry to put you through that monotony, but thanks for watching. And I'm actually going to Scotland with a mate in a few weeks, and I don't think we've quite got enough time to do the full North Coast 500. I'm also a bit disinclined to carry all that around the coast of Scotland, so we might have to revise the plans a little bit, but hopefully I'll make a few more videos and stick them online, and if you want to watch those as well when they're available, please do. Thanks very much. Bye.